Hey there, friends and family. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video where I've got the most recent Pro Wrestling Crate subscription box. This one was from, I guess it was March, technically the March box. But here we are opening it the second week of April. It's an every other month subscription box full of wrestling gear. It's got my address on the other side, so I'm going to open it just off screen. Just for, to be safe. So here we go. Here's a look inside at what it looks like whenever you open the box. So you get 2 shirts, an autographed 8x10 picture, 2 micro brawler figures, 1 lapel pin, and then like 1 or 2 other things per month, or per every other month, I guess I should say. As you can see with the preview card here, the next box will be coming out in May, and it'll be the tag team version or edition of the Pro Wrestling Crate. And so some of the tag teams that we'll be expecting are there on the card. And then the other side of this card has the spoilers for what's in this box that we're fixing to see. So I'm just going to set the card off to the side next to my Wrestlemania match card that I'm going to give predictions of in this video as well. So I don't know if you can tell already. I can tell who it is. It's Eddie Guerrero is going to be our first shirt today out of the Pro Wrestling Crate. But I'm going to move the entire crate off screen just so I have a little bit more room to show it off. And I'll pull this shirt back in for you. So pretty cool shirt here. We'll show it to you. Let me get it spread out on top of my stacks of cards that I still haven't cleaned up. So it says, Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler. And then it's got the roses and everything else in the typical Eddie Guerrero style. So that's a pretty cool shirt. I don't know that I would necessarily wear that. I love Eddie. I wouldn't call him my favorite wrestler, though. So probably something that I'll have up on sale either on eBay or Mercari sometime fairly soon. But let's get this shirt out of the way, set off to the side. Let me fix this Oink-A-Lone oversized card and the Bowman U Chrome that came sliding down. And let's talk about Wrestlemania a little bit. So I've got the full match card here printed out that I'm just going to go off of. This is the match card from USA Today's website. I'm recording Friday afternoon, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So SmackDown hasn't happened yet. The rumor is that Randy Orton will find out his opponent tonight on SmackDown before WrestleMania. Oh, Trinity slid as well. And so Randy is not listed in these matches because he doesn't have an opponent right now. So I guess I'll just start with that. Whoever his opponent's going to be, I think Randy's going to win. I just think that that's the way that it's going to go. I should also probably qualify that I have not watched weekly shows of wrestling, WWE or AEW, since the Royal Rumble. So, I watched like the debut on Netflix and maybe one other Raw this year. And otherwise, I haven't watched really weekly shows since like SummerSlam. So, just haven't had time or energy to watch 6 hours of programming a week. And so most of these picks will be based off of just who I think is going to win. I'm not up to date on the storylines. But so USA Today had it broken down as night 1 matches, night 2 matches. So let's go through the night 1 matches. First off, they have listed Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. I think El Grande Americano gets the win there against the GOAT, the greatest luchador of all time. Next match listed is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I think they continue to push Jade Cargill, and she'll get the win at WrestleMania against Naomi. And then there's 4 championship matches on night 1. The World Tag Team Championship match, the United States Championship, Heavyweight Championship, and the Women's Championship. So the Tag Team Championship match is between the War Raiders and the New Day. With the War Raiders defending. I think that they will successfully defend their championships against the New Day and continue on as tag champs. Here's our next shirt from the Pro Wrestling Crate. It is a Sting t-shirt. Nice black shirt here. I'm covering up the camera. We'll get that spread out for you. The Icon Sting, of course, with the Scorpion trademark image there from Sting. AEW shirt there, as you can see. Pretty cool shirt there. I'm not a AEW stan or anything like that, but I do like Sting, so I'll probably keep that one and wear it occasionally. Pretty cool shirt there. AEW is actually coming to New Orleans. I think this week, maybe next week, something like that. Pretty soon. I haven't looked into tickets or anything like that, but maybe I will. All right, so we talked about the Tag Team Championship. Next on the list is the United States Championship match between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. I don't think that they're going to put the United States Championship on Fatu. I think it will be an LA Knight retention of the U.S. Championship at WrestleMania. And then I think that we have our first championship change at WrestleMania. World Heavyweight Championship match between Gunther and Jey Uso. I think Jey Uso will win. I don't think he'll have a long reign with the Heavyweight Championship, but I think he will win the match. So yeah. And then there's the Women's Championship match between Stratton and Flair. I don't really know who is going to win that. It'll probably be Charlotte, I'm guessing. Have another WrestleMania moment for her. I think Stratton will put on a good performance. It'll be a fun match to watch, but I think Flair will probably walk away with the championship. Not 100% sure, though. And then, of course, closing out night one, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins in the triple threat. I think Punk probably takes that one. It seems like they're ready to push Punk and get behind him. So unless somehow they fit Randy into that, I haven't watched the storylines. I don't know if that's even a possibility. If Randy fits into that, then Randy probably doesn't win his match at WrestleMania. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I think Punk still takes it. Next item out of the box is the greatest dark match of all time sticker there. So that's, dang, I forget their names. Where did this little card go for my, Satnam Singh and, Colt Cabana. Greatest dark match of all time sticker there for the fans of those two. And then we'll have our first micro brawler from the box. It is an AEW micro brawler of Scapegoat Jack Perry. Pretty cool little micro brawler there. Those are available in chase variants. This is not one of those. This is just the normal base version of Jack Perry's micro brawler. And so then night 2 of WrestleMania will feature currently 6 matches. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, the Sin City Street Fight between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, Women's Tag Team Championship match between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Then the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match, Braun Breaker versus Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. A triple threat match for the Women's World Championship, Io Sky versus Bianca and Rhea. And finally, the undisputed WWE Championship match, Cody Rhodes defending against John Cena. So AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I want AJ Styles to win. I think Logan Paul probably will. Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. I could not care less. Both of those guys are boring to me. Have been for a long time. I understand that they needed to push some big guys, some larger gentlemen, towards the championship over the last few years. I just don't care. So I guess I'll pick Drew. I don't know. Women's tag team match, I will pick Bayley every time. I love Liv as well, but Bayley is my favorite women's wrestler right now. So I'll pick Bayley and Lyra to win the tag team championships. So let's check out the next micro brawler before we move on to the last 3 matches of WrestleMania. It's the Beast Mortis out of AEW's roster. Micro brawler there. Again, this is the base version, not the chase or anything like that. But a pretty cool micro brawler nonetheless. Lots of nice artwork in there. We'll go straight into the lapel pin of New Jack. Didn't expect to see a New Jack element in this month's box, or this edition of the box, but there it is. New Jack lapel pin. That will definitely get listed for sale. In fact, other than the Sting shirt, I think everything is going to be listed for sale so far. Let's see. Let's set that back in the box, and we'll look at this Danhausen Brawler Balls. Little squeezy toy. So, kind of a zombie version of Danhausen there. Pretty cool artwork. It's actually pretty firm. It's like a firm foam instead of like being hollow or anything like that. But pretty cool little thing there. There's an unnetted version of the artwork there. So we've got 2 items left. Looks like there's going to be a beanie and the autographed picture. The Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match. Braun Breaker defending against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic. If anybody stands a chance of dethroning Braun, it's Penta. I am not sure that they're willing to do that at WrestleMania. I think Braun probably retains in that one. And then the triple threat for the Women's Championship, Io Sky versus Bianca versus Rhea. I think the championship probably goes back on to Bianca at this point. I respect Io's game. I don't think she's a WWE champion for any long period of time, and so I think her time has come. And I think that they're probably going to look for something else for Rhea to do than hold the championship again like she did last year. So put it back on Bianca. Maybe work her up towards the feud with Jade Cargill after Jade Cargill beats Naomi on night 1. Maybe Jade even interferes in the match somehow. Not sure. All right, let's check out this beanie. Looks like a Darby Allin beanie, which is getting me excited because I know the one superstar that I remember being advertised for this March box was Ricky Starks, now Ricky Saints in AEW, from nearby here down in New Orleans. And so we haven't had a Ricky Starks item yet, and all that's left is the autographed picture. And so I'm looking forward to getting this autographed picture out and hopefully seeing Ricky's picture and autograph. And it is very nice. That will go into my personal collection. Big fan of Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints. Always a fan of the hometown guys. And so I'm excited to have this in my collection and to continue seeing what he does as Ricky Saints whenever I get back to watching the weekly shows. That's one thing that I wanted to mention before we get into my prediction for the Cody Rhodes versus John Cena match. I really thought by now Triple H's second or third WrestleMania in charge. I really thought that we would have an NXT match, at least one, on WrestleMania. I know that they have their own event on Saturday, right? Whatever day it is. I think it's Saturday. There seems to be such a pull and a desire to make NXT a third, authentic brand, especially with the advent of the Legends and Future Greats series and all this kind of stuff, all this other TV programming with young talent, that it really seems like they want to make NXT a third premier brand. But if they never get on the main pay-per-views and they only have their own shows, I think that they're still being held back some. So I'm surprised that there's no NXT matches. But, maybe there will be some appearances. Hopefully there will be at least some crowd appearances along with their celebrity shout-outs that'll happen every year at WrestleMania. But we'll have to see. So we've gone through all the matches here. Rey Mysterio versus Grande Americano. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. The War Raiders Tag Team Championship defense. LA Knights defense. Jey Uso winning the championship from Gunther. Tiffany Stratton losing to Charlotte Flair. And CM Punk beating Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And then, of course, again, I want AJ Styles to win, but I think Logan Paul will win. I picked Drew McIntyre in a match that I don't care about. I picked Bayley and Lyra over Liv and Raquel. I think Braun will retain unless they're ready to push Penta in the Intercontinental Championship and then move Braun up to the main event, which I can see, but I don't think that they're going to do that yet. And then I picked Bianca to beat Io Sky and Rhea Ripley in that triple threat match. So now we're down to the undisputed WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. I've seen a lot of the rumors about The Rock having his own corporation, essentially being formed on programming and things like that. And that this will just be the start of it, with John Cena winning the 17th championship in his career, setting the new record, and then spending at least a good portion of his last year in the company as the champion and as a heel. I see all of that stuff happening except for John Cena winning the championship on Sunday night of WrestleMania. I think Cody will retain. And I think that will just push John even farther into desperation and heel territory for the rest of the year, until we eventually get a resolution to that emotion, and a redemption story for John Cena sometime around Survivor Series, as he rides off into the sunset in one of his last matches, and turns back face. So they've got a lot of storytelling to do in the next 8 months, but I think John Cena is up for it. I think WWE is in a good position. I am a shareholder of TKO now, so I guess we are in a good position as far as the business goes. But that'll do it for today's video. Pro Wrestling Crate delivered this time, in my opinion, as a Ricky Starks fan. I probably will only keep that Ricky Starks photo and the Sting shirt. Everything else will eventually be listed on eBay and or Mercari. But that's pretty common on these. I usually list most of the items. And then you now have my WrestleMania predictions. So we'll be able to come back to this video in a few days and see how my predictions went without watching any of the storylines lately. Thanks so much for watching, though. I do appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy WrestleMania. If you're watching, this video should be coming out a few hours before WrestleMania starts on Saturday. So yeah, that'll do it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you very soon.